finds Illidan, and they kind of have a little scruffle, but they're so equally matched that nothing happens. And Illidan's badass, and so is Arthas. And Illidan's like, we can fight forever. Why are you here? What do you want? And he's like, oh, I've come to tell you that I know that your people are fighting the Burning Legion right now, all the demons. And I know of something, the Skull of Gul'dan, that holds great power, and could easily help you destroy the Burning Legion. Illidan listens to this. It's like, what? How do I know? Whatever. And then Arthas is like, believe me or not, whatever, and leaves. And Arthas knows he'll take the bait because Illidan is too power hungry. And he does. He finds the Skull of Gul'dan and absorbs its power. And that's when Illidan grows wings and has horns. And that's why he looks how he looks now. And he's just this badass guy. So he's kind of like half demon now, even though he's still a demon slayer. He uses that. I think he eventually kills Ticonderogas. And anyways, it eventually aids the Night Elves and aids the humans, even though Illidan gets shunned after that. And because of what he did, because of his demon corruption, he gets shunned by the Night Elves. It did ultimately help turn the battle. And they were victorious. The Burning Legion lost. Archimonde could not overtake them. There's this power of the World Tree. This is all stuff I'm not going to get into, but it's the end of Warcraft 3. But Archimonde eventually fails and is killed. So the Burning Legion lost. So now Arthas is still alive, the Lich King is still alive, and they lost. And Sylvanas knows this, and Arthas knows this, but the three demons that were left behind, Faramithras, Deathrock, and Balnazar, that were left behind to watch Arthas, don't know this yet. And Sylvanas is like, how come they don't know? And months have passed, and Arthas is just kind of hanging out in his kingdom of Lordaeron. And then one day he just writhes in pain, like he's talking shit to Sylvanas, because like he treats her like a little bitch, and Sylvanas hates it, and that's why she hates Arthas so much for destroying her land, for destroying Quel'Thalas, and all this crap. And eventually he just like writhes in pain out of nowhere, has these contractions, and the sword's screaming at him, and it's like, and he's hearing it in his head, not just the sword. It's not just the sword talking to him, he's hearing it in his actual head, just, and it's this most excruciating pain. Kel'Thuzad's like, my master, are you okay? Kel'Thuzad is like freaking out, the Lich, and Sylvanas is kind of smiling to herself, like, I don't know what's going on, but like, I love to see Arthas in pain, and he's like, and he just doesn't, and he doesn't understand. He's like, and he's like, what's going on? And then and Arthas tries to understand, and Kel'Thuzad's like, I don't know what's happening, and Arthas like, I think something's wrong. The Lich King is trying to contact me. I think he's in danger. Like, the Ice Crown's in danger, like, up there, like, where he's trapped in the ice. Maybe we should go up there. And he's not sure. But, at this point, Sylvanas Windrunner is not knowing what's going on, but enjoying it. And then, she eventually finds that she has more will of her own, that Arthas is losing power, basically. And she finds her body. I don't know if this happened yet. I may have over-messed it, but she eventually found her body and went into it. So she's not this floating around banshee anymore. She's this undead high elf. Like, she has a physical body again. And she looks like an undead high elf, like she does now in World of Warcraft. And she was a banshee for the longest time, which was like this ghost wispy thing. But she found her body, and now she's in her body, and she has kind of will of her own. And one night she sneaks out and talks to the three demons, and they find out that they lost. Basically, the Burning Legion lost, and the three demons don't know what to do, and they're like, well, we definitely don't want to live under this guy's control, because Arthas threatened them. Arthas like, oh, this is how they found out. Sorry. Arthas came back and he's like, yeah, so you guys lost, and now I don't need you anymore. You guys thought you were using me, but I don't need you anymore. The Wrath Fiend doesn't need you guys. You guys are done. And he was going to kill the three demons that were supposed to watch over him, but they got away. So now one night Sylvanas like sneaks out and talks to these demons, and they're like, "Now's the time. Like the Lich King is he's in trouble. He's losing power because the Lich King is in danger, and Arthas is losing power because the Lich King is in danger. Something's endangering the throne up there, the Frozen Throne. So now's the time to attack if we want to." And Sylvanas is like, "I agree," and she's like, "But I won't be your puppets. Like I was Arthas' puppet for too long. I'm free thinking now. Okay, so I'm not working for you, but we have a common enemy." And the demons are like, they accept it. So Arthas is hanging out, you know, in Lordaeron, near the capital city, one day, and the demons attack him. And the demons have some undead. So there's the Burning Legion's undead, and then there's the demons undead, and we don't know this yet. But then there's Sylvanas' undead, the free-thinking undead. There's the undead under the Burning Legion's control, which is these 3 demons that are left. The undead under Arthas' control, which is the undead army that Arthas, you know, has risen for a long time. And now Sylvanas has a bunch of free-thinking undead. Since Arthas has been losing power, a lot of them are free-thinking now, and they're independent. And those are the ones that Sylvanas leads. So the demons and all their undead attack Arthas to the point where like he's gonna die, like because he's too weak to fight, and Kel'Thuzad is trying to fight him all off with Arthas and their whole undead fighting army. Their undead army is fighting the demons' undead army, and Arthas is trying to get away. So he escapes into the castle which he grew up in, and he knows a secret passage he's trying to get out of. And this banshee shows up, and he's like, "Follow me, follow me. Sylvanas is she's waiting in the forest, and she's gonna get you out of here." And Arthas is like, "Oh yes, Sylvanas, she's still under my control." And so he follows this banshee out, and they get out of there, and they get into the forest, and Sylvanas is there. And Arthas is like, "Ah, so you're still under my control." And Sylvanas is like, "Ah, bink," and like shoots this like paralyzing arrow into Arthas, and Arthas can't move. And Sylvanas is just talking all this shit. "Arthas, you're too weak. You've made a huge mistake. You've destroyed my land," and blah blah blah. She's doing this huge speech. And she thinks she's gonna be able to kill him right now. But eventually Kel'Thuzad shows up and saves him, which sucks. So Sylvanas doesn't get her revenge, but she hates him, and this is where she like becomes independent. But Kel'Thuzad eventually shows up and saves him, and Arthas decides like, and he has contractions again, like "Ugh!" And it's the Lich King just straight up telling him like, "Come to Northrend and save me, you dumb shit. We're under attack." And it really is, we are under attack now, because Arthas gets all his power from Ner'zhul, who is trapped in this ice, who does draw all his power from Frostmourne. And Frostmourne is, just like his hammer when he started to become dark, is losing its glow, it's losing its power. The bright blue glow is like not emanating from it anymore. You can just look at like the runes that are on the blade, and those just have a slight dim, rather than the whole sword glowing. So it's less powerful sword, it's just becoming like a regular sword when he's fighting. It's not this thing that he used to wheel around effortlessly. It's got weight to it, like a real sword, instead of this magic thing. So he's got to go, because he's losing his power, as well as Ner'zhul losing his power, and all of everything could be, you know, in jeopardy, because this Lich King is losing all his power. So he goes and he leaves Kel'Thuzad in Lordaeron and just leaves it at that. So now this area is kind of like what it is today in Warcraft. It's got some Burning Legion undead. Kel'Thuzad is there, or I don't even know now. Now that Wrath of the Lich King is out, I think they're all up there. But when I played, and for a long time, there was all this undead there. Then there's the actual undead, the undead that you can play as. It's the Sylvanas Windrunner's undead. The independent, the free-thinking undead. So these aren't tied to any dark things, although they are a dark race. They're not tied to the Lich King, so they're not evil. They're not tied to the Burning Legion, so they're not evil. They're just free-thinking undead looking for a place to live. And that's why they're part of the Horde, because Thrall saw this, and Thrall was like, we needed a home at one point, and it's better if we work together, so Thrall allowed them to be part of the Horde. And that's Sylvanas Windrunner, and that's why she's part of the undead. Anyways, I veered off subject there. I'm supposed to be talking about Arthas. So Arthas goes to Northrend to stop the whatever's attacking up here in Northrend, so that he doesn't lose all his power, and so that Ner'zhul doesn't die, and so that the Lich King doesn't die.